back there? My music supervisor, Mary Ramos, is out here somewhere, but she was afraid to come up, but all the music's hers, including that last great song by The National.
Last song that sticks with you, is that
Yeah, you know, Mary and I were talking about it a lot, and I was listening to their music a lot, and felt tonally it was the right way to end, and she reached out to the band, because she's way more bold than I am, and they were very cool. They were on tours, you know, with their great new album, and they happened to be in New York on 3 days, and they came in and watched the movie in the edit room, and they were like, okay, you know we're from Ohio, right? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, all right, we got to do this. And they went away and sent this great song, and it just it was really great because it actually serves as score. There's even like a deconstructed version of the melody in the courthouse scene. And then as we get into the croquet, that song starts and serves as score, and then obviously turns into the end credits song. So we're very grateful for them.
Right. Well, let's start with questions. Who's got a good one? Right here, RC.
This is for the very awesome Paul Giamatti. In your films, we've seen you train boxers and coach wrestling. If you could coach any team in real life, any sport in real life.
Bobsled. I love bobsled. Bobsled's fucking great. I'd like to do it. And then coach it.
You know, there's like 5 guys out here who's like, we're making a bobsled movie. Like, it's happening.
Bobsled picture next.
Right here.
This question is for Tom, and I guess for Joe as well. Tom, in all of your movies, there's this sort of area of specialized knowledge in state of Nation about the trains and the visitor, the immigration stuff, and the wrestling and the sort of family law. I'm wondering how much research you do for this stuff, and do you feel like you got it all right, or are there things you had to sort of cheat for the purposes of the story?
Well, yeah, as you can probably tell.
The question.
Oh, sorry. You don't have to yell at me. I'm kidding. It did freak me out, though. I thought it was the sniper. I was really jittery from that announcement that I had stuck with me. Couldn't eat my dinner. He said, he mentioned the specialized subject matters, train watching and detention. This sounds odd. And in this case, wrestling, and how do I research that and jump in? More or less, I mean, as you can probably tell by looking at us, Joe and myself, we were both very good wrestlers in high school. We actually did, we grew up together, we wrestled on the same team. We were not that good, actually, at all. Unlike Alex here, who, in case you don't know, 2 weeks after we cast him, he won a state championship in New Jersey. So I felt like I understood the world of wrestling, but we did jump back in. We spent about 1.5 years going to practices, matches, tournaments. I mean, it was like incredibly unhealthy how into it we got. And then, of course, when we hired Alex, it's just sort of everything I had laid in there, he just sort of brought, you know, a whole new level to it, just because his sort of wrestling IQ is much higher than ours. So all those moves you see, everything you see him doing, he was working with our stunt coordinators who were also both wrestlers to kind of make that as real as possible. In terms of the elder law, Joe Taboni, elder law attorney here. So, come on, who's an elder lawyer out there? Let's hear it. Is there actually one elder lawyer in this house? Nope, one of my friends. But he was incredibly helpful in that, you know, and so obviously I know nothing about it. And so I relied on him a lot for that storyline.